Emma's found something that we didn't know existed.
So we're going to go and have a nosy.
And we'll take you with us because...
Why not?
Well, yeah, there we go. So we're going to...
Western Approaches.
Western Approaches. And it's on Rumford Street, right in the middle of Liverpool. And there's a car park there. It's a cheap one as well, isn't it?
It's not.
No.
No, it's
nearly the same prices.
£35 for 3 hours.
And it was like £13 for a ticket. What do you got?
It's a permit to enter.
So from what we know and what we understand, it's a World War II bunker, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where they used to basically... What did they used to do?
They used to do war games so that they could learn skills and become analytical to help the Navy, basically.
And they used to... Did they used to like... What's the word? Like make attacks from here?
Make what?
Like...
Plan
Covered
attacks.
plan attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously, right in the middle of Liverpool. Liverpool was heavily bombed during the Second World War, wasn't it?
Yeah. So this is where they did all the tactical side of things and learn.
It does smell.
Yeah. It's not the nicest.
It smells like World War II was yesterday. It genuinely does. The smell is still. It's weird, but take a look around, see what's going on. So this is showing you basically where in Liverpool everywhere was bombed and footage that you've got from the Second World War. And there's other people in here, so Neil them to be quiet, which is weird. And then Emma giggling, what's going on?
Little fact about potatoes. On 5th of April in 1943, the US destroyer USSO Banner was involved in a potato episode when they used potatoes to pelt a Japanese ship. The Japanese thought they were being grenaded.
And they actually do look like proper potatoes, but they're styrofoam.
Have you seen the sweet shop?
The what?
The sweet shop.
No.
And there's also football schedules.
Oh, at that. 1 penny. Everton versus Chester. Old sweets in jars.
Old newspapers.
Adverts for cigarettes in newspapers. Does actually feel like you're there, doesn't it?
Very old world.
Very.
The smells adding to it though.
Yeah, it really is. Some of the old newspapers, like, just... So Emma's found the old groups of food that you should have eaten, or were the what you could buy.
Suet, Lord. What's Sega?
If you know what Sego is, put it in the comment section.
I gotta Google it.
We don't know. And I bet you there's some people watching this that will actually remember some of these products on the shelves.
Yeah, well, some of them we've still got today. Colgate.
And it was just the actual packaging.
The actual packaging.
Yeah. Vanilla. Bath soap. The ration book.
For motor car. Coupons. Authorised. So, non-transferable. Slippers to be completed. So 2 units first month. Used to ration fuel, obviously. Smiths, crisps. Wartime packaging.
Now, I've just found something from a film that we both love.
The Enigma machine. Yeah.
An Enigma machine. Look at that.
It's hard to underestimate the contribution made by the city of Liverpool during the Second World War. Between 1939 to 1945,
Obviously, World War II, there was no internet. They did have wireless telegraphy. I think that's the name, isn't it? Telegraphy. Where they used to send signals. And this was a room that was used in the Second World War. Camel heads over the other side of Liverpool. They were basically putting out a new ship at the speed of like one every sort of like week or couple of weeks, which is just ridiculous when you think how much work goes into it. But it's strange being in here.
This room that we're in now hadn't been touched for over 20 years or so. They were just using it to store stuff. So when they came in, cleaned it and they found things that haven't been touched for over 80 years from the war.
And I wonder how many other rooms and places like that there are. Liverpool is literally littered with stuff like this, isn't it? There's just so much in Liverpool to see. You start my book, please.
Oh, you've missed one.
I've missed one.
You missed one, yeah.
Where did I miss one?
In the other room. You were too busy running off. It goes there. You have to get it next time.
So it was like £13 for a ticket, but
Yeah.
with these you can come in for a year.
Yeah, 12 months.
You've got 12 months access.
And they're like, what are they? Like passports
so
or?
to get into this building back during the wartime, you would need a pass like this to actually gain access into the building. So
they're like copies of the passes, and like Emma's, you just seen Emma there, she was stamping that. Emma's got 2, but she stamped 1.
which is good for kids.
Yeah, well, I mean,
A little
it's
scavenger.
good that you can, you can come back anytime you want. So if you're doing research on World War II, obviously you can't get all the information that you're going to get by one trip. You can just come back. £13. That's good, that.
For a year.
Yeah, that's good. Wow. Now it's mad to think during the war somebody wore this headset.
All these telephone communications, these actually kept the telecommunications going during the war when the actual main service was down, and there were 5 male engineers who kept everything going. And if they hadn't have done, then none of the services that were done here would have been feasible or viable. And the name's on a little plaque here.
So I'm taking that places where they could talk to, and there's also going to be some people watching this of a certain age that will not have a single clue what this is for. An actual old telephone. I must be getting old, but I remember these with the actual rotors on them as well. Now you know this was used in the war. Wait until you see inside here. That's obviously where all the boats were during the war. That's crazy. Use some Morse code.
Sync the.
machines in this room, like you look at all the machines, we're doing Morse code. There is more technology in a mobile phone now than there is in all of these rooms. So Emma's doing some Morse code training.
Oh, we're syncing something.
We're syncing something.
Yeah, we're syncing the Bismarck.
And another good thing I found as well is that you can sit here and you can actually practice Morse code. So it wants you to practice Y. There's the button thing there. So that would be. And they would have used something like this to do the Morse code on. Emma's not seen the big room yet. No, the war room. We've seen the war room, by the way, but we'll have a proper look in there now.
I don't think the mains power board. That looks like a telephone, doesn't it?
Yeah. Emma's doing a kneel.
So thanks to Hitler, we had a fresh fish to stick after the fight. We were all very glad to hear in the 9 o'clock news that night that 22 of the Germans had been shot down by the Navy and the RAF.
We sent for a British force and joined us from White and taken war supply for Russia. We were strongly escorted by His Majesty's ship, and as we went along, the days were getting shorter and the nights were getting longer.
It's also mad to think that this was actually used in the Second World War. So they were, doing secret missions, which were actually classed as most secret. We can actually see from the photographs of it, it was actually used in the war to find out where, where ships were and where submarines were, and you got on there like the aircraft state and the squadrons, and it's just all the secret missions as well. This has been redone to show that the situation in 1943 in the Atlantic. So that's a representation of what was going on there. And you gotta know, if this rings, there's definitely gonna be trouble if that's ringing. The red phone doesn't ring. If it does, run. Old typewriters as well. You'd literally spend hours reading all these reports. There's so much information in here. So this is obviously where even things down to like the moon, everything would have been changed, to what was going on. It was basically determined in this room on where people were going and what they were doing. Quite sad really, isn't it? That will have been the communication from upstairs to downstairs. It's mad as well to see some of the that's where they used to sleep. Tiny little beds. I think Emma's found something.
You walk around these streets all the time and you just wouldn't even think of there being machine guns posted outside.
Well, you wouldn't think that there was a building in Liverpool that basically decided where all the U-boats and all the navies went to. Mad things like this. Hitler will send no warning, so always carry your gas mask. The beds just seem really small.
The Prime Minister Winston Churchill here. Thanks for all your hard work in the bunker. Just so you know, for my next visit, it's a full English at breakfast.
You are 168.
168.
What am I?
Uh, 177.
The Wrens used to ride around on those motorbikes, isn't it? And the Wrens, which is WRNS, stands for Women's Royal Naval Service.
So what they did is when the men went off to sea, or wherever they went, they took over the jobs that the men would have been doing previously. So
Not an
cleaners,
easy
wood
job as
turners,
well.
Fitters, cooks, bakers.
So apparently, like I said before, Winston Churchill did used to come up to Liverpool. He used to use that bath. Another thing at the end of the tour as well is that you do get a free cup of tea.
And it was, well, when I started there, those markers we used might have been toys out of some children's game. But soon there came new boats, ships carrying cargoes, food and supplies, weapons.
Emma's on tea duty. Thank you. I'll be in the war room. Well, that was it. The journey through the Western approaches.
Quite interesting.
It was very interesting. And
Learned
there's
things.
loads you could spend hours here reading stuff and finding out what was going on and what happened and stuff like that. I'll leave all the links in the description to where we've been, and it was only cheap, wasn't it?
Yeah.
£13 each. It cost you more for the car park, to be fair, but as an added bonus, you know, you are bang in Liverpool city centre and parking is a bit of a nightmare, so if you can park right outside, that's a bonus.